Hey, this is Kevin and Frank from Cruising with Wheels. Our NCL Getaway cruise is over, and guess what time it is?
It's time for our final thoughts.
Like Frank said, we are going to be doing our review and our final thoughts of the NCL Getaway cruise, just like we promised when we were on the NCL Bliss. This will be the second time that we've done this, and we promise we'll do it on our future cruises.
We're going to recap everything that happened during the cruise so you can figure out whether this ship is for you. So, what did you think about the Getaway ship?
I don't know. It was nice.
It was nice.
It was.
Yeah.
I would say it was average. We had a good time. There were lots of things that I kind of didn't like about the ship.
Yeah. Well, she was kind of showing her age.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what's going on, but I had initially thought that it was supposed to be dry docked in May of 2019.
Yeah.
But I can't find anything about that anymore.
Really? Because I thought that when we booked it, we did read about that, and I remember thinking, oh great, we're going on our cruise, and then she's going to be refurbed.
Maybe they did a rethink on it because the ship's only 5 years old.
Yeah.
But I thought it was dirty in some spots.
The carpets were separating in the hallways.
A little bit worn.
Yeah, she was a little worn.
Weathered.
Yeah, a little weathered. She was, girl was trying to hold up pretty good, but, you could tell she was showing her age a bit.
I also thought
there's a lot of people on that ship.
Well, and I also thought for me that maybe it was because we just came off of the big, brand new first passengers on this ship.
The Bliss, which was very modern and upscale.
Right.
And then we go to the Getaway, and so you can't help but have that subconscious comparison in your mind going, oh yeah, she's okay. Oh.
Now, I think the crew was great.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was wonderful.
I don't think we came across anybody from the crew that we had an issue or there was a problem.
No.
They were all friendly and gracious. And
now, keep your eye out. We're going to be doing crew. What are we doing? Crew
sightings and subscriber sightings.
So there'll be a video out, and maybe you'll see yourself in that video.
Oh boy, now that's exciting.
Now, just like on the Bliss and some of the other mega ships that they have, there's only 2 banks of elevators.
Yeah, it was forward elevators, aft elevators, nothing in the middle. And I think we got used to that. It wasn't an issue because, again, that was the way it was set up on the Bliss. So we were kind of already oriented to that.
And I think the elevators ran a little bit better than on the Bliss. But then again, it's a smaller ship.
Yeah, and I have to say what I liked about the elevators that I thought was kind of cool, and I kind of didn't notice it until probably the middle of the cruise, is that when you walked into any elevator, the big giant orange was on the wall, and if it was a square orange, I think
if it was square, you were in the aft.
Square was forward.
Oh, forward.
Yeah.
And
round. And the round orange was aft, and that's how you knew in what part of the ship your elevator was at.
It's pretty. It was a pretty ingenious thing. Except I probably would have done. If you were forward, I would have had a big F on the wall or something, because it's like you don't know and realize it until you connect your brain cells.
But what I also thought was funny, that every time you wheeled me in the elevator and I got wheeled in and I was face to face with the giant orange, I was staring at it, and I felt like, I was being mesmerized and hypnotized by the giant orange that was in my face.
You're a goofball. So the pool deck, we feel, was very small for the number of passengers that were on the ship, although we don't spend a lot of time there. Now,
that's always a common complaint with cruisers.
Yeah. Now, Dave and Darlene said it was fine. Yeah. They staked out their spot right in the beginning of the cruise, and that was their go-to. We do want to tell everybody that not every deck is accessible, and when when we say that, you can get there, but you can't get there by yourself.
Yeah.
So there are some areas of the ship, if you're completely confined to a wheelchair, you will have to seek out a crew member that will have to take you up special passageways or a stair lift in one instance. So keep that in mind if you're going by
Yeah,
yourself.
because you actually did that on the spot, on the ship, survey reconnaissance.
Yeah, for one of our subscribers.
For one of our subscribers that you were in contact with while we were there, and you went and got a crew member, got the information, and then got right back to her while we were on the ship. So thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Gringo. Gringo, he's the one that took me through.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about Embarkation.
Yeah, Embarkation went very quickly. We arrived at the port terminal about 10 a.m. Check-in was like 15 minutes. I mean, we rolled through security scanning, got right up to the desk, boom, 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 all our ID. We were done 15 minutes. We did wait about an hour in the waiting area. Now, the one thing that I was a little upset by, and I think I was upset for you, is that there was no wheelchair assist to get me on the ship, and you had to push me all the way up those winding ramps, and that was kind of hard on you.
Now, I heard other people say that they got wheelchair assist, so I don't know if it was because we checked in a platinum desk, and I don't know. I really didn't have a problem because Dave and Darlene were there to help me. It wouldn't have been an issue if we were by ourselves.
It seemed to be a long way up.
That
was. Ramp just kept turning and turning, and because of my shoulder, I couldn't help you that I usually do with that, help you roll.
The things we do.
And you were pushing, so that was kind of tough, and that kind of bothered me. But it's funny that when we boarded the ship, the entrance where we boarded was exactly where the handicapped men's room, or actually just the handicapped bathroom was, a men or woman. And so we got on, and of course, you know me, I gotta go. And so we were like, well, where is it? And we're like, well, there's the bathroom, there's the bathroom. I'm like, well, where's the handicapped bathroom? And then you check out the sign and it goes that way. And I'm like, oh, that's where we came on. And so we had to go back through all the people, and there it is, right where everyone's getting on.
Remember they had it blocked
off?
off.
They had a piece of paper taped over the sign that says handicapped bathroom. And I said, I need to use the bathroom. And they were like, kind of like, well, I'm sorry, but. And we were like, sorry, nothing.
Yeah.
Get that door open. Okay, I gotta go. And I'm not going to any other deck because when you gotta go, you gotta go. So just move these people out of the way, say hi, how you doing, get on board, and get that door open for me.
Now, if you watch the vlogs, you know that we stopped at Oceans for lunch, and that we were there by 11:30. So from the time we entered at 10 a.m. to the port area until the time we were sitting down and eating, it was an hour and a half.
And you know,
easy breezy, and that included bathroom stops and and chitty chatting with people and
people want to know, well, how come you go to Oceans? We get that a lot, and you know what? It's a sit-down lunch. It's not the buffet, because the buffet on Embarkation Day
is like Thunderdome.
Oh yeah, Thunderdome. It's dog eat dog, and you will get black and blue bruises just trying to get your food.
I think Oceans was really busy though this time.
Oceans was busy, but again,
because all these people have been watching.
Yeah, but it does give you the sit-down option, and it is a little. There's hubbub and noise, but again, you're not up at the buffet wandering around with your plates of food trying to figure out where you're going to sit.
And I believe that there was one of the MDRs open as well as an option.
Yeah, one of the main dining rooms.
So let's talk a little bit about our cabin and what we liked and what we didn't like. And
the cabin that had several great points to it. It was a handicap full turnaround balcony.
Yes, you heard us right. Balcony!
It was huge!
The cabins were great. They were ready by 1:30. And like you said, it was huge.
Oh my God. I mean, we could have had like what, 25, 30 people in there for a party. And of course they had the double balcony because the cabin was huge.
Right, and there were tons of closet space and drawers.
Oh my God! I mean,
The
seriously,
cabin had a coffee maker.
we could have been like Titanic with our steamer trunks of clothing we could have brought. That's how much storage and closet space they had.
Yeah, and the cabin had a coffee maker,
Yeah.
which is unusual.
Because it goes with balcony cabins, right?
I guess. I mean, we've traveled
We did
on
inside,
NCL
and-
a lot, and they used to have them in
Yeah.
all of the cabins,
But
and
we
they
found-
took them
yeah.
away, so we were surprised.
Because we've been in interior and Ocean View, no coffee maker.
But we've been in interiors where there have been coffee
so
makers.
what's
What's the deal?
I don't know, but
I think it's a ship decision.
think so?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't use it. We picked up the tray, with the coffee maker and the glasses and the ice bucket, and we just moved it out of the way because, it was on the desk and it was in the way.
It did have an automatic door opener for you.
Loved it.
And it was relatively close to the elevators.
Yeah.
Not as close as our Bliss one,
Yeah.
but it was close enough. It was pretty close.
Yeah, you didn't have to wheel me down a giant long hall, walk of shame hallway to get to the elevator. So they were close. Yeah.
Now, we want to remind everybody what cabin number we were in.
Yes.
We were in cabin 11888.
Yep.
That's deck 11. And we're going to tell you our cabin dislikes now
Yeah.
because we had a few dislikes
We had
to our
a few
cabin.
dislikes.
Even though it was great and huge and
Yeah.
wonderful.
The cabin was dirty.
And not dirty
Yeah.
as in our room steward wasn't cleaning it.
Right.
It just needed, in my opinion, a deep cleaning,
Yes.
right?
The carpet need to be carpet cleaned. The carpet was dirty.
There was mold in
mold
all the corners.
And you're going to see by these pictures that we took how dirty the carpet was, the moldy looking corners, the dirt marks outside of the bathroom door. And I'm sorry for our cabin steward, but there was so much junk on the carpet, it looked like it had not been vacuumed in over a week. And so it was very disappointing with that.
I do know that he vacuumed though, so don't give the hate mail
I
on the
don't
cabin
know.
stewards. But I don't know what the deal was.
You constantly were stepping on crap that was on the carpet. Another thing is that when we got into the bed, I thought that the bed smelled musty, mildewy, in fact had a body odor smell to it.
No, I didn't smell that.
Yeah, you were saying to me that you were like, I don't sense it. And I'm like,
And
well,
this is the perfect example of people can experience different things on the same cruise.
Yeah. But
So-
I was on the bed, we had pulled the sheets and comforter off, and I was like, ooh, it smells musty and mildewy. It actually smells like body odor. What's up with that? And I know it's not me. I mean, I know what I smell like, and that ain't it. But yeah, it was disappointing.
It had a small desk
Very
area,
small.
but it was enough. It was enough.
We had our laptop,
Right.
and it had the small, narrow shelf above
I
it.
was just surprised with the size of the room
Yeah.
that would have such a small
Yeah.
desk. You don't have, oh yes you do.
I do.
There are no shelves
Yeah.
in the bathroom, so there's no place to put your
Yes.
personal daily care
Yeah, I mean, we're used to
stuff.
where there's like a lower shelf for like someone like me in my wheelchair, and right above it another glass shelf for maybe the second guest who probably traditionally is not handicapped and is probably the caregiver. And so we're used to that, and that's where we would put our razors, our straight razors, our toothbrush, toothpaste, things, accoutrements for the bathroom. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. So all of that bathroom stuff had to be kept out in the cabin on that little narrow shelf above the desk. So we're constantly having to go in and out and bring things in and out. And we didn't experience that at all on the Bliss. We had shelving in the bathroom.
You have down here about no USB ports, which I couldn't find any, but there might have been some on the light switches, but
No.
I don't know because I
looked.
couldn't find any USB.
Yeah, and the reason why you couldn't
And,
find it because there wasn't any.
It's just odd that it's a newer ship.
Yeah, but we had our that outlet attachment that plugged into the
normal two outlets.
normal two outlets on the desk.
There were three.
Yeah, because the one on the wall for the
Right.
scooter.
There was one on the wall by the door
Yeah.
for scooters or power wheelchairs.
Yeah,
So
we
that
can
was a nice touch.
Park it over there, plug it in and recharge, so that was nice.
Muster drill was around 3:15.
It went
It was in the Manhattan room.
very quickly. We rolled in, we went to the front, we checked in with our crew member who was assigned to our area. It went very fast, and at a certain point, when all the good stuff was done, the crew members allowed everyone in a wheelchair and scooter to leave immediately before the massive crowd.
Which was very, very nice.
Kudos. Yeah.
We were back to our cabin by 3:45 for our little sail-away party that we did.
Yeah, it was you and me, Dave and Darlene. That was the big sail-away party in our cabin.
They'll just have to watch the vlogs
out
if they
on the
want to know what
balcony,
happened.
And yeah, you'll find out what happened in our little private party.
So, what did you think about the restaurants?
I liked all the restaurants. I don't think I had a problem with any of the venues. We did Cagney's. Our first meal was at Cagney's the first night you and I went right by ourselves.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think Dave and Darlene had a dining room that first night. But you and I went to Cagney's because, we had 5 free specialty dinners. I have to say that in the first Cagney's dinner, I was disappointed. My strip steak was charred and tasted charred and was tough to cut. So I was a little disappointed. I have never had a bad meal at Cagney's, and that was probably the first. Not bad, but you're eating your steak, and I like a little char on mine, but that was charred.
I liked Cagney's. Cagney's was good for me both times. We ate at La Cucina, and we all had good meals,
Yeah, we did.
except none of us ordered Italian.
Right.
So I can't speak to their Italian. We thought it was horrible on the Bliss.
Yeah, horrible.
We've always had problems with La Cucina. They keep changing their menu.
Yes, they won't leave it alone.
But everything we had was good. The service was good. We ate outside. It was
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
We ate at Teppanyaki. Frank didn't join
Right.
us.
I skipped teppanyaki because I just couldn't eat anymore, and I wasn't feeling too well. Believe it or not, I started my diet on day 2 of the cruise. I mean, I had the first day where I had breakfast buffet, then a full lunch, then the dinner, and I was so sick. So I was like, no, I had to start limiting my food. And you said to me, what did you say about the teppanyaki dinner?
It was loud. It was
Thank
very,
God you
very
weren't
loud.
there.
It was very, very loud. But it was very good. I mean, it was tasted just like it always tastes.
Said the food was as usual.
Darlene and David thought that it was even better
Than the Jade.
than the Jade. I thought it was the same.
But it was loud because
They kept banging.
the chef, the chef, you said, kept doing the spatula and kept banging it in front of everybody. And it was funny because when we had dinner later at the end of the week at Le Bistro, we were actually inside Le Bistro having dinner. We could hear the chef banging his spatula from down in Teppanyaki.
So be prepared.
What is up with that?
And speaking of the bistro, we
Yeah.
thought that was very, very good. Again,
I like Le Bistro, and you love their coffee.
I love their coffee. I'll go there
What
just
is
for their French onion
French
soup and their French press coffee.
Oh yeah, he was in French heaven.
So don't skip Le Bistro.
Yeah.
They did it excellent.
Yeah.
And we are not big seafood people,
No,
and
we're
we
not.
are not big French food people.
Yeah, but
We went to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville
yes,
for lunch
we
one
missed
day.
it on the Bliss, and we were determined that we were going to hit Margaritaville this time around.
Now, Margaritaville is open for breakfast, complimentary. If you want a quiet area to have breakfast, they have a limited buffet there. It'll be the same selection that you have in the regular buffet. And for lunch, you can get lunch for $14.95.
Right, per person, and that's all you can eat. right?
Well, no, it's just like all the other, you get an appetizer, you get a main
Oh, it's that
entree, and you
kind
get
of
a
standard.
dessert.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not all you can eat.
Oh, because I'd be like, oh my God, people will be ordering entree after entree, and I'll have the giant nachos, and then I'll have the burger, and then I'll have your case of whatever.
I thought the food there was really good, except I felt they went way overboard on bread.
Yeah,
The buns were huge. 90% of his meal was bread.
yeah.
So for $14.95, it might not be worth it. But I had a burger. It was
Yes.
good.
I tasted your burger, and I have to say I wasn't impressed with it. I ordered
Well, I wasn't impressed, but it was good. It wasn't
yeah,
bad.
I ordered a turkey club. I think I had the turkey club. Did it come with chips or fries, whatever? And I thought that would kind of be light, and I wouldn't do like a meat thing like a burger or anything heavy. But you know, when you do a club sandwich, you get 3 pieces of bread. Each piece of bread was this thick. So my sandwich was like this.
I don't think they can comprehend
Okay.
this thick on a screen.
It was like
So they were like maybe a half an inch thick bread. Half an inch, 3/4 of an inch.
No, definitely an inch.
It was
plus.
really thick.
It was, so the sandwich was kind of crazy, and I just was just kind of tearing off the bread. I mean, who could eat that much?
So, but it was nice, and we ate at Savor, and it was okay. The main dining rooms are always good.
Yeah.
But our special treat that we did
yeah.
was the Cirque du Soleil show.
Yeah,
It was the dinner show.
The Cirque Dream and Steam show at the Illusionarium.
Mm-hmm. It was about 2 hours long.
the best.
It was great. The food was okay. I wouldn't say the food was over the top.
No,
But it was average, like
we
main
were-
dining room.
We were
fair.
enamored with the fact that we were going to see this show, and we had it was kind of like a
It was surf and turf. It was a
Yeah, shrimp.
and it was a beef medallion or something like that.
It was beef, it was garlic shrimp, garlic steak potatoes, some broccoli, and then it had a dessert, a 3 little thing dessert, and it was good. And so we were excited. The actors were all walking around in their costumes, and so you're gonna
Don't miss it.
Yes, don't miss it.
It's a good show. Book it ahead of time and get the floor seats, because then you'll be right up by the stage.
Yeah.
And speaking of the stage in the
Yeah.
theater, there's theater shows on the Getaway. Currently, they're running Burn the Floor and $1 Million Quartet, among other shows, because they do fill in with their Welcome Aboard and their farewell show.
And I didn't go to any of them.
And we skipped the $1 Million Quartet simply because the only time slot I could get was at 10:30 at night. And we found out it was a 2-hour show.
And you said it was running late.
There was mixed reviews. Some people said it was great, and some people said it was horrible, so we just skipped the whole thing.
You were like, it's a 2-hour show and it's starting a half hour late? I don't think so.
We already talked about Cirque Dreams, so we don't have to talk about that. Don't miss it.
Don't.
And speaking of don't miss Burn the Floor. Because Burn the Floor was excellent.
Yeah.
Darlene, David, and I both enjoyed it. The only thing is it's very, very loud. But it was good. It was good. It was much better than some of the other shows I've seen. It's kind of Dancing with the Stars-esque.
Ooh, wow. Well, my mom would like that.
So let's talk about the ports we visited.
Oh, okay. Well, the first port we hit was Roatan, Honduras. And we were, we just were out for a little bit. We were out for about an hour and a half doing our usual tooling around and shopping for little jet skis and Christmas ornaments and things like that. It was no big deal. But this time in Roatan, we were on the other side. Where
we were in a different spot.
Yeah, we docked this time around on the other side where we normally have never been. So it was nice to see a new port.
Now on the 28th, we went to Harvest Cay, and that is where I chose to do a parasailing excursion. It was awesome. If you get the chance to parasail, don't hesitate. It was $99, and this cruise we had $50 excursion credit in each port, so it
Yeah.
only cost $49 for me to parasail.
Yeah, and the
But
thing that I liked about it is getting from the ship to the entrance of Harvest Cay, its little island complex. They had trolley trains for everybody.
well, yeah, they weren't trained, but
But I mean, you
they
know
were
what I'm
like
saying?
trolley golf carts.
I call it a trolley train.
They were golf carts.
Well, it's similar to what we had in Curacao when we took that trolley ride through the city. I call it a trolley train.
But they had the dock is very, very long.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it
It's
is, but I think it's a
long.
mile.
It's long. And for me, they had a special trolley that had a wheelchair ramp to get anyone in a wheelchair or scooter onto their own little trolley with Kevin sitting in front with the driver. And they were able to also take 2 more guests to sit behind me.
And that's free.
Yep.
Now, when you visit Harvest Cay, we didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
We've never been there, but they have snorkeling and paddle boats and zip lining and parasailing and chess and checkers. And they have a large beach and bars and restaurants.
The pool.
They have
Oh
a
my
pool
God.
which is endless.
The pool was endless. It was the largest winding pool I've ever seen with walkways and bridges connecting this side and that side.
For those of you confined in a wheelchair, we counted at least 4
Yes.
chair lifts or lifts to get you into the pool.
Yes.
And there were lifeguards on every corner. There were lots of shops, and they also had beach wheelchairs for free.
And apparently, all you had to do was go up and say, I'm from the Getaway. Here's my sail and sign card, and they sign you in. I would have to leave my wheelchair there, and of course, I always bring a lock with me. And then for free, I get the beach wheelchair to be able to go out onto the sand and make fun of Kevin, Dave, and Darlene.
On the 29th, we went to Costa Maya. Costa Maya is filled with shopping areas at the port and places to eat.
Yeah.
You could get manicures, pedicures, massages.
Pool.
There was a pool. Someone asked if that was free, and we're not sure. The time before when we were in Costa Maya, it was free, but things change. And the last time we were there was in 2015, maybe. So we're not sure about that.
It was
But we
a
ate
hub
lunch.
of activity, and because it was your birthday, we decided that we were not going to go back to the ship and have our free buffet lunch, but we were going to stay in Costa Maya and treat ourselves to a restaurant lunch, and we ate at the Cantina Latina.
It was very good.
Yeah, what did
Best
you have?
quesadillas I've ever had.
Oh my God, they were so thick.
They were thick. As thick as his bread was,
Yes.
was as thick as the cheese and the chicken.
Yeah, and I, in deference to Dave of Dave and Darlene, I had a burger.
The last stop we made was at Cozumel, Mexico, and it was nice to see it. It's sad that it was decimated by a hurricane, but it was nice to see that they had rebuilt and they did a nice job. Kind of.
It was actually a major mall shopping
area.
complex that was built on both sides of the road, and so they had these connecting walkways. So if you went over to one side, you were looking down at the street with all the cars going back and forth.
They're not going to see your hand, Tony.
Can you see that?
No, I'm cutting that out.
Can you see the cars going back and forth as you're looking down, and then you can walk way over to the other side? But it was a mall. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was nice.
Yeah. Kind of some crazy people there, which, you will see or have seen already in our vlogs, some goofy ones, and upcoming Frank's Tales from the High Seas episodes. I'm going to tell you some goofy stories.
So there were lots of excursions
Yeah.
available on this NCL Getaway cruise, but there were only 1 or 2 that were wheelchair friendly, and they were bus tours, and so we opted not to do any of those.
I said, I'm not going to be on a bus for 3 to 4 hours, zippity-doo-dying through whatever port we're at. It's just, no, I'd rather be out in tooling in the sunshine, not stuck on a bus. So we didn't do it. Now, some little things here and there, bumps in the road that happened. Things like, in our cabin, as great as it was, we had some neighbors that I swear to God had elephant as children. I don't know who they were, but let me tell you, these kids were running constantly up and down the hallway, and they sounded like elephants. I wanted to go to the door and open it and just start screaming. They're really getting on my nerves. And the fact that also our cabin was right next door, I think, to a crew storage room. So every time Errol or whoever was going in and out, that door next door was slamming.
Well, I never heard it, so.
So I probably spent more time in the cabin than you did. But yeah, a lot of noise outside.
The internet sucked.
No, Kevin was very upset.
I was very upset with the internet. So I would say if you're going on the getaway, don't bother getting the internet. Wait until you get in port.
You were really peeved at the internet manager.
He's an idiot.
Okay, let's not gloss over that.
I'm not gonna. He's an idiot. He's a fool, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like some of the things where he didn't say there were any printers. He's a liar. I saw him. They're right there.
Yeah, he said they had no printers, and they even advertised it in your room on your TV that as you could, checking in for your airline, you could print out your boarding passes through the printer in the internet cafe, and he was telling everybody there's no printers. Idiot!
We had a fire. There was a lovely fire in the buffet on my birthday.
In honor of Kevin's birthday.
It wasn't raining men.
Yes, if you saw the vlogs, you will see what happened when the sprinklers went off and there was a small kitchen fire, though they were saying there wasn't, and a big cover-up, and they did an awesome job in the cleanup. Kevin walked by it. He saw the charred, burned wall.
We smelled the smoke.
In the kitchen. So you can cover up all you want and tell everybody to delete the footage off of their phones, but we all know what happened.
And for as far as room service is concerned, we ordered that on the 30th. It sucked.
We ordered a carafe
of
regular coffee and some croissants and some Danish.
We got some lukewarm water.
Lukewarm decaf coffee that, you wouldn't, feed to a pig. And the croissants and the treats were awful, like cardboard. So that was a total waste of time.
So with everything bad comes something good. And so some of the good things that happened.
Yeah, the little stuff.
I don't think that's little, but.
Well, no, but, things like.
Like the cruise next, we bought some cruise next. They were running the buy one, get one free still. In other words, we bought 4 cruise nexts for $1,000 and we ended up getting $500 back.
Each one was worth $250.
And we used gifts that we got, so we didn't pay for that ourselves.
Right. So,
there was a large group of blind guests on board.
Yes,
I guess there was
a whole contingent.
What was it? A special group cruise?
I think it was, and so that
it was really nice to see.
Nice to see, because we're always used to seeing canes, walkers, wheelchairs, and scooters, and you kind of never think about the visually impaired. And there was a large contingent, I think, on their little maybe group cruise. So that was cool to see.
So Laura Donna is a friend of ours who works for NCL.
Now she's the food and beverage director aboard the NCL Getaway, and we know her from previous cruises.
Cruises, yes, we've known her.
So we got to talk to her.
And she had our cabin decorated for my birthday. And she also was very generous and sent myself and Frank a chocolate sculpture thing to our cabin. And she
also sent it to David and Darlene. David and Darlene got one too.
So that was really nice.
Yeah, we saw her almost every day. Yeah, and we got to talk to her.
She actually would seek us out.
Yes, she would, because you know when they scan your sail and sign card for dinner,
they know where
you are, and then boom, she would show up. How you doing? How's your dinner? We would be chit-chatting and talking and picking her brain. She'd be picking our brain, and it was a real pleasure.
We won some money at the casino. I won $200 and Frank won $150.
Yeah.
I can't read what that says. Oh, we already went over that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We already went over that.
So that was it. So, we ended the cruise, and all of a sudden there it was, and it was time for disembarkation, and it was quick. I mean, we were our usual up at 6 a.m. The ship docked in Miami, the port of Miami, by 6:30, and we were out of our cabin by 8. Hung around, you know me, I got to hang around the nearest bathroom before we get off.
But we were off the ship by 9.
Yeah. And we went through luggage and customs in a matter of like 15, 20 minutes.
And we did not have priority disembarkation. We didn't have the gold priority tags.
Yeah.
So it was really, really quick. The car service arrived at 9:30.
Yeah.
We feel really bad for him. He got a ticket. The port authority was not playing this time.
No, they weren't.
They were checking every
Yeah.
car, and I think his registration was
He
off.
had some expired tags and things, but we felt really bad because he had gotten us all loaded in, the luggage, the wheelchair, we were all in the car.
We almost were away.
And then all of a sudden, this a young
Barney Fife.
woman, and I saw the badge, and she pulled out her ticket pad, and I thought, oh no! And so he was out there for like 15 minutes with her, pulling out this and that to show her, and she's busy writing him tickets. And he was embarrassed and apologetic. But then we got on our way from Miami to the 45-minute drive to Fort Lauderdale Airport, where we were flying.
Yep, and then we checked in for our flights.
Yeah.
And we played Yahtzee until maybe noon.
Noonish, when you guys went to scout out where to have lunch.
And we ate lunch at Chili's and then boarded the plane. And the plane took off at 3. And we landed in Buffalo at 5:30.
Yeah.
And
Grabbed the luggage, yada yada.
it was very quick. We were in bed by 10 p.m.
Yeah, because we started driving Buffalo to Rochester. We were home by 7:30. You ran to get the puppies from Angelo. I swear, what do we have, an hour of TV and bed at 10? We were pooped. So, yeah. Boy, that was a fast cruise.
It's even faster now.
I know. Lordy. So, yeah, that was it. So, there you have it. That was our NCL Getaway Caribbean cruise. It was the second cruise that we were on a mega ship. We had a great time because, we were with Dave and Darlene. And so a good time is always being had with those two. And we're glad that we were able to bring this to you and give you our final thoughts.
Yes, and if you haven't already watched our NCL Getaway vlogs, they're available right here or someplace up here. And we hope you enjoy them. You can always send us your questions for our Q&A, right? Because we're going to be starting that up again for 2019.
Yep, as I said before, I'm going to start getting together my Tales from the High Seas, my Frank Pushes Back, and so we're going to have a lot of exciting content coming your way. Remember, if you're just watching our videos, that's awesome, but please hit that subscribe button. Become a regular subscriber to Cruising with Wheels.
We're on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram,
Twitter.
and like I was saying earlier, if you have a question for our Q&A, just email us to cruisingwithwheels@rochester.rr.com. But until next time, we want to remind you to
Travel safe.
and cruise often.